Test, test, test. How about that? I have a new microphone. Sorry, guys. Man, just really want to give you a good show. And it looks like I haven't had audio this whole time. Can you hear me now? Just waiting on a chat there. It looks like the audio was not working. But it looks like it is now. In fact, if you can tell me if it's like good audio, that'd be great. I changed the audio setup. No audio still. Okay, now it works. Yes, 100%. Sorry to keep you guys waiting on this. It's been 3 days now of me with the learning curve. I really appreciate it. Great. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Welcome to episode 33. Order out of chaos. Ordo ab chaos. I can't believe that I'm even doing an episode with this title. It's pretty freaking weird if you ask me. That is not a normal thing. But here we are. It is the apocalypse after all. And it's the apocalypse in spring. And the fact that they planned this for the spring definitely shows you the pruning, the good, healthy pruning that's in effect. All of us are budding our consciousness in the middle of spring. It's the perfect time to be budding. In fact, some of us haven't budded yet, but others of us have. And some of us, like me, have been grossly over-concerned with whether or not other people are budding fast enough. And as of 3 or 4 days ago, I suddenly no longer have those concerns anymore. There is an aperture opening that has occurred that has made me realize that this is actually happening in perfect time. This should not happen any slower or faster. This is perfect time. And part of the way of learning that we found is through compassion. We've been learning to apply compassion to the dissonance that's surrounding us. And for the very first time, it has opened our eyes, and we are no longer blinded by the light. It's a hell of a place to be. Looking in the comments, I see some of you are not there. A very small number. But some of you are not there. Some of you are angry at me because I'm not freaking out. Some of you believe that if I was to squeeze my sphincter harder, it would create a difference in the world that would make you feel better. And I just want you to know that giving any orifice of mine, front or back, that much power over your environment is dangerous for both of us. Think of the pressure I'm under with my orifice. If I knew that if I was squeezing my sphincter harder and going, "Oh, I'm afraid," that your life would somehow be better. That is a hell of a burden to put on anyone, regardless of their skills at Kegeling or sphinctering or whichever way. I want to remind everyone this is the polyvagal nerve that I'm actually speaking of science here. There is a polyvagus nerve that wraps around most of your organs in your chest and will squeeze and compress and release like a bellows. And this is your bellows of consciousness. This is your bellows of aperture. This is how much the two towers of your eyes, how much truth is willing to come through. You can shut your eyes and open your eyes. You can dilate your pupils and adjust the amount of light, but you can also adjust the aperture of truth that's coming in. How much are you ready for? How much are you not? This is the magical world of being a human. And as you have progressed up the hermetical order of understanding, you have been blooming in broad daylight into a whole new world. All of us have. And that world is here. And man, we are buckled in. We are in our cockpits. We have learned to not hate our cockpit. We have learned that there are 3 trillion soldiers inside our body right now, willing to sacrifice themselves for any desire that the captain has. And we are no longer ignoring those sacrifices. We are now harnessing those sacrifices, in fact. We are no longer calling them bad or negative. We are understanding what they truly are. You are sacrificing time right now in a pranic ceremony with me and with the brethren in the chat. This is the connection of humanity. Notice that something new happens between two people. When you have two sovereign people, a third system is built that could not be there without the two. That is humanity. It's a currency. It's a feminine energy. It's a scabbard. It's a scabbard in between. It's a channel that's been dug between two people that allows the current to flow. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Humanity and man are a very special breed. There is a very special instrument that's working together in a wonderful, wonderful way. So how does this stuff work? It works through drama. And drama has been what has been causing us to unfold. When you feel agitation from drama, it is shaking you, and that is causing things to surface. And that's the beautiful, beautiful part of what we're going through right now. Let's talk about that. There is no deep state. There is only the state. The state is not broken. It was designed this way on purpose. The state is functioning exactly as it was designed. And it's beautiful. The state is lying to you, so you will bud discernment. It's doing you a huge, huge favor. The state is training wheels. It's training wheels for your trust. It's training wheels for your discernment, your judgment, and your sovereignty. As you cling to the state, pretending that there's a deep part that's bad and there's a good part that can be saved, what you're really doing is clinging to training wheels. You don't want to let go. And that's understandable. We've all been there. But it's an illusion. It's an illusion. And you're afraid to let go because you think it means the state's abandoning you. But that's how you learn to ride a bike. You leave your dad, your mom, your brother, your cousin, your uncle, whoever. They launch you like a rocket into the world. And it's not abandonment. It only feels that way. The government has always been pushing you out of the nest. Since 1963, the FBI had a full commission in line. All these guys, man, they were just so bad, and they just kept getting worse. I'm showing a map right now of the commission, a nationwide network of mafia. Tampa, Miami, New Orleans, Dallas, Tucson, Vegas, San Jose, Kansas City. I can't even read some of these. San Diego, LA, New York, Brooklyn, New Jersey, come on. Chicago. The biggest and baddest of the worst have been running the show for centuries, guys. Centuries. This isn't a new phenomenon. All that happened is that a long time ago, humankind only had the aperture to see the state as two separate entities. It saw it as the mafia, and it saw it as the government, the good guys and the bad guys. It declared one side evil, it declared the other side good. As we grew older, our discernment changed. As our discernment changed, we developed new understandings about truth. We knew the commission and the mafia were the same thing. We knew the government and the mafia were the same thing. Understanding that is losing the training wheels. It's the last bolt that holds it on. All that's left is you and two wheels and delicate balance. These people have always been evil, and they're doing you a favor. They're not here to oppress you. They're not. They're here to illuminate you. They're here to make you sovereign. Look at Hillary Clinton's eyes. If that is not the biggest bug out left eye, I don't know what is. This is an old picture. If you can't see this, it's the Clintons with the young Chelsea in their lap. And you can just see the makings of the witch at a very, very young age. And Hillary, of course, was studied witchcraft. It's fascinating, the archetypal alignments that are all here. Look at that bug eye. Oh my God. That woman is not right. She has been through a lot of stuff. There is no way she's going to be, if you let her go without training wheels, she is going to cut somebody. And we elected her. We gave her a lot of power. I'll just say that. Clinton body count. It's insane. Look at this. 16 deaths by plane crash. 20 by suicide. 22 by car accident. 56 by military ops. 8 by newspaper, don't know what that is. 7, 5, 13, 23, 5 by medical deaths. 13 by hatchet. What is that? Is that a hatchet? Come on. The Clinton body count. Whoops. The Clinton body count is so bad that I really having a hard time accepting that it's all real. And if it's real or if it's fake, the end result is exactly the same. We have to have compassion for what it's like to. Here's what I mean. You have to have compassion for the person that still wants government after seeing this chart. You have to have compassion for someone that still wants government and who will overlook this chart and wrap it in whatever words they can. April 19th is an important day. A lot of stuff happened on April 19th. One of which was Waco, Texas. And all of Waco started with a suspected unpaid gun tax for $200. And I don't even know if it's real. I said yesterday that the math no longer makes sense to me that 9/11 had people in the buildings. And I showed you a picture of Kushner, Silverstein, and Ivanka as proof of that. I have a lot more to say about that, but that's my one hanging signpost. This is the archetype of why I feel this way. Certain things wouldn't make sense unless everyone is quote unquote evil. And as I've said before, calling someone evil is not an excuse. That's not compassionate, nor does it explain. It explains nothing. To call something evil is the exact same thing. Is the exact same thing as saying I don't know, and I don't care. That's all it means. It just means I don't care. It's a label you place on your junk mail. Like when you get it in, you automatically scan it. You're like, Grandma, I'll keep that. Bill, keep that. Evil, 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 evil. Oh, postcard, keep that. Evil, evil, evil. And now you have your evil mail, and you've now it's done. You've got it all figured out. That's evil mail. You know that. You don't have to put any thought into it. And I'm telling you, you're going to have to pick back up the 9/11 postcard and turn it over and look at the signature. Look at the handwriting. It's telling you something very different. It's telling you that there's a deep love affair between all these people. And that's what comes to the lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. There is a lion in every wardrobe, and there's a witch in every wardrobe. And the difference is fashion. The fashion of ideas, the fashion of clothing, the fashion of ideology, the fashion of compassion. It's a circuit that can be flipped, and a capacitor can be filled with the energy of good or evil. Evil is the dismissing of male. Good is the turning over and analyzing the handwriting. This is an AC circuit. As initiates on the voyage of the Dawn Treader, you guys have learned that the polarity hatred that we've had for so long about good and evil has actually been what's kept us out of the temple. And that as we understand, this sounds so spooky if people are like, oh, Illuminati's bad, they're going to freaking love this part. You are kept out of the temple by your fear of evil. And evil, as we know now, is a lack of compassion, not consent. You down there right now typing, well, you support evil. No, not consent, compassion. If someone's coming after you with a bat, all it will do is serve you is to have compassion about what it is they're angry about. Because if you understand what it is they're angry about, you can use that to defend yourself. You can use that to understand what's happening around you. And the moment you start to have compassion, you're opening a symbolic link. You busted through their armor, their electric armor, with compassion. Compassion permeates any kind of defensive armor. There's no defense against compassion. It's a molecular transporter that passes through shields. And you can ingest your compassion into your opponent and understand what it is that's upsetting them, and use that as an Achilles heel to dispel their energy. Instantly. Like instantly. And as a high mason, as someone who is controlling the populace, you would utilize compassion and its lack to stimulate the people. If you had people that saw things as purely evil or good, you would have the capacitance to control electricity. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. Ordo ab chaos. The chaos is the vacuum. The chaos is the lack. When you create a lack, you're creating a scabbard. When you create a current, you're creating a lance. The lance and the scabbard, the male and the female. This is the completion of the circuit. This is where all energy is harvested and found. All of it can be directed. But you're going to have a tower for negative, which is a pit, and a tower for positive, which is the tower. You're going to need the tower to be as tall as you can make it, and you're going to need the pit as deep as you can make it to harness the most amount of capacitance and release the most amount of energy. You need a lion and a witch. Here's a picture of Hillary cackling at the White House Correspondents' Dinner and Trump with the wrestler face staring with disgust and disdain at her. It's such a beautiful photo. It's a World Wrestling Federation photo, quality photo. The colors, the symbolism, the archetype, it sucks you in so deeply. And it's all the same face. It's all from the same promoter. There is no deep state. The state is functioning perfectly. It's doing you a huge, huge favor. And the sooner you see the wardrobe and the lion and the witch for what they are, the sooner this world changes from the Wizard of Oz to the Wizards of Oz. The sooner you start building your own circuits of magic and you start to create the world that you want. I would rather you guys have the ability collectively to fuck up my world than I would rather have Trump or Clinton or Kabbalist Zionists do the same with a lot more power. I would rather each of you have a machine gun than one guy having the most powerful machine gun ever in the world. I would like our world to be like that, where we have a Wizards of Oz. Now, most of you are afraid you don't want anyone to be a wizard, and you're dealing in the world of hypotheticals, where you're telling me, well, if no one would lie, we would live in a great world. And I don't want to live in the world of hypotheticals. Your gonads do not work in a hypothetical. Your adrenals do not work in a hypothetical. This is a world of salt and oil. Things are being burned all the time. I don't want to be virtual. I don't want to pretend that, well, this is how the world is, or this is how the world should be. Our world has lies in it. You can think that that's a mistake and therefore we have to fix it. And until we can fix it, we're going to pretend like that the world is not supposed to have lies in it. Or you could stand up and stop shitting on your own power by rejecting negativity and calling it things like evil and running away from numbers like 33 and Ordo ab Chao, and look at it with compassion and go, what the fuck is going on? How does this work? Does anybody know how this works? Does anybody know how this works? I would like to know how this works, because frankly, it's fucking up my campsite. I think we could do more if I understood how this works. And that's what you're doing by initiating. Building 7 was sacrificed for you so that you would walk through the 2 towers and see this truth. The government is an Illuminati organization, and they are recruiting you, whether you want to be recruited or not. They are telling you right now, hey man, do you want to get in the wagon? If not, that's cool. You can build your own wagon, but this shit's coming anyway. even if you stop me, this place is still full of this. What we're doing is we're using chaos in a positive way. We are pruning people with chaos. And fellas, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. It's crazy nuts that I'm sitting here telling you how good chaos is and how beautiful silence is. You cannot, if you saw Life of Brian, you know this. You cannot follow the gourd and follow the shoe. You cannot tell someone. You cannot tell someone. You have to follow yourself. It doesn't work. It will never work. And these people know that. And you could have your ass burned by saying, well, they know more about the script than I do. You could feel that way. And you'll spend the rest of your life going, yeah, those fuckers, they know more than I do. Let's talk shit about them. Let's go in the comments and say, you guys who know more than me, you fucking suck. And that's if that's your fizzle, because that's all your magic's going to be, is a fizzle. It's just going to short out. You're not going to do anything while you're here. You're just going to bitch about it. And all that bitching energy is going to be collected whether you like it or not. It will be collected in a circuit, and someone will use it to their benefit. So you might as well claim your power, guys. The sooner you claim their power, the more Ordo ab Chaos starts to turn the tables. and we can percolate. The giants get to decide. This is a harvest of munchkins to giants. And anyone who saw Building 7 passed the first word. They saw the truth and they entered the main temple. And the second part requires compassion. It's to look at Building 7 and go, why did they do that? Why did they do that? How can they still be smiling? How can they still be normal? Why are everyone still friends? Why is Michelle Obama hugging George Bush? Why? Why are they all still friends if Barack Obama wasn't born in Hawaii? Why? If Pizzagate's real, if Epstein's real, why is Epstein... Why did they let him die? All of these point to, if you have compassion, you can look at this and go, wait a minute. It's because they want to get caught. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Why do they want to get caught? And you start looking at Simpsons, predictive programming. And then you stop saying, well, it's because they're evil. That's why. They do that because they're evil. And you start to look at it differently, and you're like, okay, well, evil is an excuse. That's bullshit. So why would they want us to know? Ugh, and then it hits you. The pruning. You see signs of the pruning. You're like, holy shit. They don't want me to trust government. They want me to understand that government is mafia. That's profound. And you have to start looking at the difference between intent and action. When you're powerless, you're going to live your life as if it's on intentions. You're like, well, I didn't intend to hit you, therefore if I hit you, it magically doesn't count. When you become responsible for your actions, you become responsible for your actions. It doesn't matter what your intention was. In fact, your intention is really no one's business. I say that because you can't prove your intentions to anyone. It comes from a dark well inside you. You pull up what you call your intentions. My intent was to do this. But that's your neocortex's intent. That's all. All that does is tell you what your neocortex used as an excuse to explain all the chemical urges that you had inside you at that moment, at that point in time. So to pretend like you live in intent is seriously to lock yourself in the attic of your own head and say, I live here now. I live here in top tower. Me in control from top tower. Me no go nowhere, but me in control. It's that kind of stupid, retarded shit that you hear from people. Intent means nothing. A 5-year-old will tell you his intent. My intent was to hug a goldfish once, and I broke the goldfish bowl, and it burst. And I blamed the cat. I blamed Alfie. I said it was Alfie who did it. And I just wanted to hug the goldfish. My intent was good. I wanted to hug a goldfish. But look at what I did. I fucking killed a goldfish. And I framed a cat. I framed an old orange cat who didn't deserve that. Mom, if you're listening, that was not Alfie. That was me. I wanted to hug the goldfish. And I felt so bad about what happened, I didn't have enough electricity to tell you. The intent means nothing. And it shouldn't. We should all be holding each other accountable for our actions, not our intent. When your mom's pulling the tangles out of your hair, if you don't have compassion, you'll make up whatever intent you want. Well, your intent is to hurt me. Her intent is to pull the hair out of my head. Or her intent is to straighten my hair. Her intent is to make my electrical field feel like I am loved, which would ingest love. It's all those things. What we intend versus what actions actually do to us. This is part of learning how to see through the bullshit. You see, intent allows you to pretend government means well. Because you're like, well, they meant well. When they burned Waco, they meant well. They meant well. That's all. They were just trying to... Sorry, I've got to get this thing. They were just trying to collect tax on a $200 bill. That's all. I mean, they couldn't help it if they set the place on fire. They couldn't help it if they were driving trucks around with the sound of screaming pigs being slaughtered while they threw firebombs in. Come on, man. They didn't intend that to happen. Their intentions were good. They meant well. Government's good. This is just a crazy mistake. Just a crazy incident. It's not like we invade or bomb a country every 15 months. It's not like that at all. We'll keep lying to ourselves if we play with intent still. And we'll keep shorting out our power because we'll pretend that one pole is evil and one pole is good. And anyone whose direct current is good and anyone with AC current is evil. And that's what keeps us out of our own spellcraft. It keeps us out of the potential that we have as electrical beings to create circuits in the world. We're so intuitive we do it anyway, but our power is squeezed through a giant resistor called government. And most of that goes somewhere else. And that's what we have to learn. I want to play this. The lion, the witch, and the wardrobe. The wardrobe is Washington, D.C. Actually, the Washington University. The lion is Trump. The witch is Clinton.
Fact check him in real time. Last time at the first debate, we had millions of people fact checking, so I expect we'll have millions more fact checking because, it's just awfully good that someone with the temperament of Donald Trump is not in charge of the law in our country.
Because you'd be in jail.
Secretary Clinton.
We want to remind the audience to please.
Did you guys hear that? I think you heard that. It'd be great if you'd tell me that because it make sure I got that set up right. That is the most luscious piece of drama you could have seen in politics in the last 20 years. I mean, it's stunning. Stunning. In case you didn't hear that, this was the you should be in jail. You'd be in jail. Clinton's talking, well, if I could sell my mind, then Trump says you'd be in jail. It's a Clinton throws him up against the ropes. He bounces off the ropes and comes back and clotheslines her. It's freaking gorgeous how amazing the show is. And how they keep having to add numbers. Guys, I want you to think about this. Let's say, just humor me. Let's use some compassion here. Let's say that the Clinton body count is not real. Just bear with me a sec. And let's say that they added one body. That they wanted to create a witch, and they added one body to the body count. And they let that story out, and Clinton was elected governor because he was like attorney general first, right? And then through that, they let out 7 more stories. And then he was reelected. And then they're like, wow, okay. And then they let out like 20 more. And then 100. And then 200. And then 300. And so what you end up with is a politic where the person who has the most witch-like qualities will automatically rise to the top, regardless of who they're competing with. Just as you have someone who has the most positive polarities. They say, look at Barack Obama. Community organizer. Black man. Pushing through the streets of Chicago. Wagging his finger at white people. You rise to the top, your different polarities. Whoever has the polarity of the lion automatically rises to the top. Whoever has the polarity of the witch automatically rises to the top. And what ends up happening after you rise to the top? You actually end up converting. Think about it. Bill Clinton, whether or not you remember this far back, was considered a hero of the people. And after he was promoted, he switched from lion to witch. And that only was happening because of Bush. Bush came next and pushed the other side, pushed the other polarity. And so each of them switched sides. And then what happened after Bush? Bush became the evilest man in the world. I want you to think about Crowley, the wickedest man in the world. This man's showing you how electricity works. And every politician is showing you how electricity works. Whichever one has the polarity, either side, is going to automatically be promoted to the top. It's automatic. It's part of being in the zeitgeist. And more importantly, it's part of understanding how electricity works. How witchcraft works. How wizardry works. How spellcraft works. How politics works. Politics is just the polite word for witchcraft. Zeitgeist circuitry. It's an electrician, a mechanical engineer, an electrical engineer. Ah, had this on the wrong thing. All of the scandals that we've ever had are gates. I want you to think about this word. Watergate, Pizzagate, FISA-gate, Climategate, Travelgate, Obamagate, Elsagate, Ukrainegate, Gamergate, Chinagate, Wienergate, Spygate. Why do you think they call them all gates? Do you know what an electrical gate is? I do. Let's look at one. Here's an outline I made of Pizzagate. And if Michael Doucette's listening, I just want to say thanks, buddy. We've been talking about this kind of stuff, and I have this app because I do programming, and I drew this up. This is Pizzagate. And right now, nothing's happening. There's no current running through the system. Why? Because the gate's closed. The gate's open. It's going to be confusing, which I say that. Right now, it's actually open, but you'll see what I mean. Let's finish this connection. Over here, we have passion. We have the passion of the people. Down here, we have the ground. Everyone's connected to the same ground. All the people are touching the same ground. Let's close the gate. Let's close the Pizzagate. Let's complete the circuit. And now the Democrats are getting all this current. 20 milliamps, 2 volts. It's flowing through the Democratic Party right now. You guys see that? Yes. Let's change the direction. Let's introduce pedophilia inside the Democratic Party. Now, 20 milliamps, 2 volts. The people are still outputting 20 milliamps. All that's happened is we've directed the gate from Democrat to Republican. Oh, Barack Obama's going to give us free health care. Oh, the Republicans are going to come in and save us all. Save our guns. Gates stop and draw the current of passion, the electrical current of passion. And every time you have a gate, someone's built a new circuit where they can suck your prana and they can open it and close it. Not only can they open it and close it, they can direct which way it goes. They can feed off of it like a vampire. They don't give a shit what color. In fact, they can make the circuit so clever where it'll feed itself. Where it'll do whatever it needs to do. That's what gates are. Gates are an electrical current system. There are 6 gates total. 6 of them. If you can't see this, it's just a simple diagram of the 6 logic gates. The first gate is and, which is where we go one, where we go all. You're gating in through an and. You're bringing people together. The second gate is an or. It's either the pedophiles or the warmongers. It's or. And then, of course, there's the gate of not. We're not the crooked guys. We're not the pedophiles. We're not the blah, blah, blahs. And then there's the NAND. That we're not pedophiles and we're not gun toters. We're not this, we're not this, we're not this, we're not this. That's a gate too. And then there's the nor. We're not that or we're not that. It's brilliant, right? And then there's the XOR, which I don't even know what that means. It doesn't even matter. These are all functions of plasma electricity. And that's why you can hate something or you can love something. Guys, it doesn't matter. If you hate or you love something, it's still going to be in someone's circuit. If someone wants you to hate something, they could easily have written the same circuit as if they wanted you to love something. And we're all confused going, no, but he wants me to hate that, so there's no way he could be writing that circuit that's feeding him billions of joules of my electricity. No, why would he do that? Why would he write that? It's because he's an engineer. He's an energy magician. He knows how energy works. He knows. What you see right now happening is the war of the currents. And it's really not even Tesla versus Edison, actually. What you're really seeing is... Okay, let me clarify. To the people outside of this initiated, the ones outside of Building 7, the ones that have not come into the temple, this is what they see. AC versus DC. But for those of you who have come into the temple, instead what you see is a movement from DC into AC. It's profound. You are learning a new kind of magic. You're moving yourself from DC to AC. DC is always one-way current. AC is two-way. AC is going to not abhor the negative, nor is it going to pedestalize the positive. AC is Tesla. DC is Edison. And DC is pretending that it's good, that it's only once good, and it fucking electrocutes elephants. And Tesla is beyond good and evil. It doesn't matter that you think that it could be used as a death ray. It's a wireless free communication device. DC is the magic of scarcity. It's the magic of shame fame. It's the dagger that you've learned to keep at your side to keep you safe. When you fight thoughts, when you're fighting for truth and conspiracy theory, you will use the dagger of shame fame, like Peter Pan, and you will slice up your opponent, but it's got to be real close hand-to-hand combat, and you're not going to be able to get a lot of juice out of it. But AC, that's a different kind of power, man. You can knock down buildings with that stuff. AC is compassion. Why is it? Because AC is an alternating current that goes in and out. It goes in and out. Where's this other one I got here? AC is a movement forward and backward. I really want to show you that. I thought I had this in here. Let me just open this one up here. AC, DC. DC is a solid line. It looks like a steady state. It looks like something that you would call good. It looks like something that you would say, oh, yeah. DC, that's all we need, man, is DC. Look how steady DC is. Look how nice and predictable DC is. DC is good. Anything but DC would be bad. And then Tesla comes along with this fucking AC stuff. He's like, nah, dude, it's all about the wave. It's all about the flow, man. He's the surfer dude, telling you to get out of the cubicle. He's telling you got to stop rejecting evil and understand that evil is just an absence of compassion. You're not given consent. All you're doing is understanding there's a new form of power that's been waiting for you this whole time. And it's compassion circuit. It's the electricity of AC. And it's waiting for you. And you're going to have to embrace words like Ordo ab Chao, order out of chaos. You're actually going to have to embrace pruning. That's what it takes. If you're going to use AC current, you're going to have to understand and have compassion for pruning. Why your mom pulled the comb through your hair. Why the government lies to you. You can connect through an AC current and you will abhor nothing, and you will have a completely different form of power. It's just waiting for you. Some of you already have it. Most of you, like me, have it, and you're currently learning to use it. You used it already when you told your kids that there was a tooth fairy and Santa Claus. You used it already if you were a big brother and you teased your little brother. My brother would tell me, if you give me $20, I will go buy you a tape, the Cars tape, for $8. And then I will keep the rest. And that will be your birthday present. He was doing me a favor. I just wasn't willing to accept that was a nice favor. But he was teaching me. All it feels like is negative. And I can, hey, don't get me wrong, I could still feel cheated. I could still feel like, well, it fucking sucks. And it does. But it sucks just as bad that I gave him the $20. It sucks just as bad that I put that initial power in. That I walked in to 9/11 saying, well, yeah, everyone had to die there. And Pizzagate's real. And all the other stuff. It's snapping the training wheels off. This is you. This is your passion leaving right here. All your passion's being pulled out of you, whether you know it or not. Whether you know it or not, you are a battery for a Pizzagate circuit. For a government circuit. And you have no control over that. As long as you're playing in that field. As long as you haven't been initiated. But we are on the journey right now. This is the voyage of the Dawn Treader. We are seeing all this before our very eyes. Speaking of which, make that a little bit smaller for you guys. April 19th has always been an ominous day. I only noticed this yesterday. It's always been an ominous day. And I want us to give that ominousness compassion and say, why would they plan all this evil shit on the 19th? Why would they make us continuously freak out on the 19th? And the answer is because we keep believing them. We keep believing them. Oklahoma City bombings, Waco, Texas, Poland, Warsaw, ghetto uprising. Actually, not all these are going to be here. U.S. Waco cult raid. Boston Marathon. Not only was the Boston Marathon there, but the bombing was also on that same day, April 19th. Bay of Pigs. Lunar rover, Apollo, USA, The Simpsons. The Simpsons, guys. The Simpsons. The leaders of predictive programming. They want you to know. They want you to know. America's charged with funding terrorist activities. Boston bombing. All of these things. There's actually a lot more. This is just the cheapest site I could find that had them all on one page. The reason why they're pre-planned is because they want you to see. They want you to understand that they're lying. And they want you to notice. They want you to see the pruning. They want you to see through news. They want that to happen, guys. They want it to happen. All of these are circuits. And we are surrounded by magicians. You can be a munchkin or you can be a wizard. Because the apocalypse is the Wizards of Oz. Not the wizard, but the wizards. If you don't pick up a wand, someone else will, and they'll just use it against you. Meanwhile, you could just use your electricity for good. You can ground a good circuit. A circuit of family, a circuit of sovereignty, a circuit of animals. Got my dog right now, would love for me to feed him. You can build your own circuits, but you're going to have to stop abhorring the negative. You're going to have to stop pretending that, well, the negative must just be evil. Therefore, we can't build any circuits that have it. You're not going to be able to build a solid positive circuit. It's not going to do anything. It's going to be pretend Disney magic. It's just going to be a fetish on a string. Real magic involves sacrifice. Real magic involves a death, hence the sacrifice. Real magic involves something exchanged. And these Masons they sacrificed building 7. They wanted that to be the obvious. Between two towers, there's always a sacrifice that occurs. You see that in the Masonic lodges as a coffin. Let me see if I can get to that. It's always a coffin between the two. The tower is being sacrificed right now, so you guys will wake up. The new building 7 is 5G. The 5G towers are something you're going to destroy. All of us are going to say no to 5G is what I mean. And by saying no to 5G, we're rejecting Babylon. And Babylon has been a capacitor that's been built up over time. It's one of these, capacitor. And it's been charged for centuries. All a capacitor is difference. Look, it's a dielectric surrounding 2 electrodes. One's positive, one's negative. This looks fancy, these 10 layers, but really, it's just a negative pole and a positive pole. One side of a capacitor has negative, the other has positive. A tower stores the positive. Look, guys, look at the cross. That's positive. And a pit stores the negative. Like in any circuit. The lion is the positive. The witch is the negative. All of this is electricity. It's so beautiful how simple it is. And it's simple because it's true. As above, so below. Oh, but that's evil. Okay. Pretend like that's evil. Pretend like that electricity itself is evil. And just keep going through your life. You can do it, man. Keep going. Tell yourself that it's all, electricity is all evil. And get back on your training wheels. See how far it gets you. There's a giant ritual happening right now. And it's beautiful. We're going back to land. We're saying no to things. We're finding our own sovereignty. We're budding. It's a spring and we're budding. We're budding from our branches. Just watch this. Not all of us are budding yet. This is New York. Yesterday. These people aren't budding. These people are staying on the teat. He's like, oh, I want that teat so bad. I want the teat. I do too. My husband wants the teat, so oh yeah, we want the teat. Give me the teat. Give me the training wheels. I want the training wheels so bad. I have training wheels. How about you? Yeah, you guys too. Even the statue has the training wheels. All you're looking at is animals that people that haven't budded yet. Their buds haven't opened. It's spring and their buds haven't opened. And I've been making the mistake because I've been yelling at those buds, going, open the fuck up! And don't worry about it. Open yourself up. And the fragrance that bursts from you as you open is going to open them up. The ones that are supposed to open will open because of that. They will smell your fragrance and go, oh yeah, that's what I want. This is a high magic ceremony that we're watching. Let's see if I can make this. I have a bunch of pictures in here. I was going to show you guys. Hotkeys. Masonic. Here it is. Next slide. Makes you do this each time. Previous slide. There we go. Remember I told you there's a death between the two towers? This is Hiram Abiff. And he's suffering a symbolic death. And between the two towers, there's always a sacrifice. Something always has to die. That's why there's a coffin down here on the ground. And people say, oh, it's a sacrifice to Lucifer. And you know what? If you think about it, Lucifer illumination, it's a sacrifice to reach illumination. They are sacrificing 5G. Holy shit, look. There's a G that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points on it. I just noticed that. They're sacrificing 5G, the tower that's supposed to crash, in exchange for enlightenment. Everything these Masons have built up, all the society, all the control, everything they've done, is being sacrificed right now for your illumination. If you want it. Or if you're going to say, no, I can't because this pole is evil and this pole is good. You can't make it through. You have to have compassion to understand. This are both retinas, man. You can't be calling your left eye good and your right eye bad. Not a butt pirate like that Crenshaw guy. Canada's Hiram Abiff falls into the canvas, having been struck in the forehead by the setting maul of the surpassed third ruffian Jubileum. He's blind. He falls. It's the hero's journey. Enacted in a ceremony. It's all about illumination. I'm showing you this. Here's George Washington in the pose of the Baphomet. I'm showing you that because there's a resonance to understanding what's around us. We can look at things and see one level, or we can look at them and see another level. Now, most of you freak out over the Baphomet. I mean, look, he's got a fucking goat head. Why would you not freak out over that? He's a hermaphrodite. Why would you not freak out about that? He's pointing above and below. Why would you not freak out about that? There's a lot to freak out about. Look at it. Got the caduceus in him. He's got boobs. Guy probably never leaves the house. But just fondling himself all day long. He's got a light on top of his head that lights up from the polarity of positive and negative. He's a living circuit. He's a symbol of a circuit. The top of the Jacob's ladder. These people aren't better than you. They just know. They budded early, and they probably had help. They probably had an ark with some information that was given to them. And they had help. Or they resonated wisdom. Their father was really wise, and he raised his children very wisely. And his children were really wise and raised their children very wisely. Could be that simple. Could be so simple that now he's lying to you, and you're freaking out because he's lying because you think that means he must be evil. When meanwhile, the devil will tell you whatever you want and never make you feel bad. And you will swear that that's good. Your parents will say you cannot have a toy, you need shoes. You will call that evil. You will reject all of that current. You will reject that current of love coming into you. That's an AC connection they're giving you. It has a void in it. It's shoes, not toys. Yes, you can have food, but it's beans, not sugar. This is the flow. It's going to feel that way. I've told you guys before that it's not about being nice. It's about being consistent. And what is AC power but a consistent sine wave that comes in? It's always showing you. Yeah, it's back and forth, but I'm here. I'm always here for you. That's what humanity is. You tap into that feeling, and it's a current you can rely on. And that's what politics is. They're relying on your current. And right now they're sacrificing a tower, hoping that you will do the right thing with it. But if we freak out and run away, the needles are coming. More needles will come. Project Bluebeam will come. Towers will come. Because that's how you prune. That's how you kick a baby out of the nest. You sacrifice something important for your child. You send him off where he sees the truth of it all. A child has to be thrown out of their house. Otherwise, they never become an adult. They don't become a man. It becomes gross, actually. It becomes really gross what they're doing. This is the apocalypse. And we're blooming. We're all blooming here. All right. I think that about covers it for today. I have a lot more to say, but it took a while to get all this stuff lined up just to show you what I did show you. I'm getting better at this. Told you that compassion's a lance. The more you see the lion and the witch in the wardrobe, the more you're going to understand how the magic works, and the more you're going to be able to create your own currents. It's no different than saying something. If you see someone in a mask and you say, I don't understand, you're sending them that AC connection. You're giving them a void. You're giving them something that's a lack. And that actually creates the connection again. We can all learn from electricity. We can all learn from our own power. Go out and mess up. Attempt magic and fail. Place a sticker on something and have it not feel right. Say something that you want and have it not feel right. And pay attention. You're writing your grimoire right now. Your book of spells. You're writing these techniques. Memes are spells. Emails are spells. Posts are spells. Things you say to people. All of this is electricity. And you guys, you deserve all the electricity you can harness. This is a resonance economy we have. This is all good stuff. Make this the best apocalypse you can. Ordo ab chaos. That chaos is that cream pie in the face. When you hit someone, not too hard, not too soft, but just with a feeling of, why did you do that? That's a lack. That's a vacuum. That's ordo ab chaos. Cream pie in the face. Happy day. I'm going to feed my dogs. They've been waiting long enough. And, yeah. We'll see you next time.